Hello everybody, this is Kiru's show here. Now then, whenever we last left off, Deku, he had just said his goodbyes to Bakugo. Now, let us cut to about a week later. Deku, he has somewhat been a little annoyed, but he has been able to at least talk and see Bakugo. Albeit it's a bit, well, not fun because they barely get a chance to catch up or talk to each other. So it's a bit annoying. Now, Deku, him and Mei are somewhat going to the same school now, so it's at least a bit better because he at least has someone he can talk to and actually discuss tech with. So it's a cool friendship, but it's a bit weird because Deku's never met anyone who he can actually talk to about this. Besides, well, his dad. So, now then. They would be talking and actually discussing things, as Mei is asking him about exactly what has he made before, or what does he try to do. Because his quirk seems to be a lot similar to hers, but, well, exactly how much can you do with it? To which Deku would say one thing. He can control any nearby tech, and somewhat scan it to see how it works, to get a better understanding about it. So he can actually upgrade it to whatever he needs it to be. Though the upgrade part I have to do myself. Wait, so your quirk basically... My quirk is made for engineering. But it's not that bad. Besides, I can just be a pilot. To which Mei would somewhat just choke on her drink, saying that that is a bit of an ambitious dream, especially now. Well, I mean, yeah, but I can't give up on it. Besides, just think about it. The technology the pilots have, it's leaps and bounds above anything else. Everyone else has been trying to struggle to catch up. That's why everything's so advanced now. Think about it. If pilots didn't exist, we wouldn't have some of this tech. Well, I mean, you are right. But even then, it's a bit annoying. Anyways, do you want to go to buy that tech lab that they are giving us access to today? Well, yeah, actually, it's just getting moved in and accustomed to things is a bit weird. Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm not used to working in the garage without a noise complaint. Well, I can't relate to you there. Most of the tech my dad works on, he uses tools by hand. He doesn't use power tools? No. Oh, wow. It is interesting. So he probably just works on all the louder tech at his office. Well, probably. Anyways, as they would continue lunch, and eventually the day would end. These two, they would walk back onto the, well, gated area they live in, and immediately just start running straight for the tech lab. As Deku and Mei, they would get there. Now, as soon as that happens... Alright, now then. This is whenever their parents, Deku's dad and Mei's mom, they would see them walking to the facility, as they are trying to go over certain things. Now, as soon as they walk in, they would be greeted and told that the lab is going to be over here. Access to the building, it's, well... Security is a bit heavy on this, but the lab is open 24 hours a day. Since most of us do live on the premises, it shouldn't be a worry. But as an extra security measure, they are giving us these key cards. So, as Deku's dad would just talk to the security guard for a second, and the security guard would walk away. Later, coming back with 2 more cards, as he would understand the, permission these 2 were given for the lab. As they would walk in, seeing complete and utter beauty in a complete world of tech. You basically have pieces, raw tech, and anything you can think of. Although you would have to put specialized orders in and write up papers and documents for certain pieces. So it would take a minute. Now, the facility does understand these 2's desire and drive for engineering, so they would have at least given them project pieces. Since they can basically help the scientist and improve upon their own workshop skills. Because the whole plan for them would be to go to UA, get into the general course, if they could, or become pilots. But Deku, he wants to be an overachiever. He wants to find a way to revive the pilot program, and to try and stop it from going extinct. So, he would have immediately got to work, walking over and seeing a scientist having trouble, and someone getting annoyed. Not a scientist, an engineer. They would have got annoyed as they would have walked over and grabbed a drink. They would have started chugging down an entire cup of coffee as they would walk back over and try and figure this out. Deku would ask the man if he's having a bit of trouble, to which he would somewhat try waving off Deku. Deku would just look at this piece as he does one thing. He just has his eyes glow, and he begins to scan the piece. The guy, being a bit confused watching this, would somewhat just turn his head and ask Deku exactly what is he doing. Deku would just tell him that he's trying to help. The guy would get annoyed, telling Deku to go away, but Deku would have persisted, saying that he's missing this piece, and the wiring right there is messed up. You also need to fix this part. The guy would have tried mocking Deku, saying that, oh, I'm Mr. Big Shot because I'm allowed in the tech lab, as he would have turned to the piece. He would have looked at what Deku pointed out and see that it is actually messed up, as he would look to the bottom part and throughout the entire piece, finding that everything Deku talked about is actually wrong, or, well, correct. As he would turn to Deku, asking exactly what is his quirk. I can basically scan and talk with tech. I kinda can control it. Really? That doesn't make sense. Technopath. Okay, I think I understand. Well, as he would somewhat turn, saying, thank you at least. I thought I fixed that part. I didn't think it broke again. So exactly what are you two going to be working on? Well, we're somewhat trying to figure that all out. As they would walk over and flip through a couple books, writing down the pieces they would need and actually doing this for the next couple hours. As Deku, he also has a bit of a problem. If he's going to make a mech or, well, a Titan, he's going to have to find designs, to which there are not a lot of. So he might have to base that design off the one he saw in the museum, which won't be hard, because it's going to be this mech right here. However, he's going to have a problem with the power source, and he does want to create a suit along with specialized things, so that's going to be a bit tricky. Now then, let us cut to about, let's say, a full-on month later, whenever all of the pieces are delivered, along with the plating. So, Deku and May would get to work, as the pieces that have been coming in, they've been slowly building up. As May is working on her goggles, and actually creating them a little bit earlier in this timeline. Well, Deku, he is actually looking at this piece and making it, as he is currently working on the leg right here, along with part of the, lower body. He's getting every piece put in, as May is actually asking Deku exactly what is he doing, to which Deku wouldn't respond. She keeps trying to get his attention until she does poke him on the shoulder. Now, Deku, he would have turned his head a bit confused, as he would take out a headphone, asking her if she needs something. She would just say, yeah. She asked what exactly is he doing. Well, I'm trying to figure this all out in my head. I have the blueprint not written down, but in here. As he would walk over to a workshop and get a piece of the paper. He would just start writing things down, as he would say that he has this all planned out, but one thing that's his problem is, as he would show that what he's trying to build, he has a wrong piece for. He can make it work, yes, but it would require making the mech a bit bigger, which would throw off balance and everything else. As he also has the problem that the power sources Titans are connected to, they're not exactly easy to find or public knowledge. He has the scans for the ports that you could put the battery into, but not the actual battery itself. And he thinks that going to a museum or going to any showing or place that one of these things are publicly seen and scanning it with his quirk, he thinks that that's a bad idea. Since whenever he scanned the Titan, he did so because he was a bit curious. And, he was just told not to scan anything else in that building. Well, I mean, okay. So, what exactly does that mean? Well, I did have the idea of moving the port from the side of the Titan to around the back, so it at least does help me a bit more. Okay, well, as May would just tell Deku, that he should at least take a break then. He's kinda... As he would turn his head asking what is she talking about. She would just tell him that look down at his hand, as Deku would do so. Finding that he's not writing or drawing with a pencil, he's just been tracing around with the eraser this whole time. As he would just sigh. She would tell him that, in the meantime, she just got done with these, as she would hold up her goggles. Deku asking exactly what are those for. Well, I'm glad you asked. I've been designing these puppies for quite a bit of time, and I've been working on that helmet for so long that I finally decided to give it a rest since I got it fixed, or you helped me with it. Okay. As she would put them on, saying that this is exactly what they do. They allow me to use my quirk and zoom in a bit better, but, they're a bit plain right now, as it doesn't have that whole steampunk aesthetic yet. Deku, he would just ask her exactly, what's it supposed to be used for? To which she would just tell him that it's a bit different. So, here, give him a shot. As she would just hold them up to Deku. Deku would take them from her and put them on, as he asked exactly why do they have crosshairs on them. She would have explained it's made for her quirk, but, well, that's a bit easier. Deku would put them on as he does one thing. He looks around and he actually does begin scanning everything in the building. Realizing that now that he can zoom farther and actually see better, this does help his quirk. So he does at least keep this in mind, as he's scanning around the entire lab, seeing everything everyone's working on. She would just tell Deku that that's a bit weird. Well, it's a bit easy, but as he would just take them off, handing them over to her, saying, if he's able to use his quirk with these, then he might need to make a pair. But, well, as he would just think about one thing. Do you still have that pilot helmet real quick? I think so. As she would walk over to her workstation and open a cabinet. She would pull out the pilot helmet along with the booster, the jump gear. Now, she would just say that she was going to test these and tweak them a bit better, or at least start designing a version 2. To which Deku would just grab the helmet, sliding it on, and immediately connect it to BT, asking BT if he can somewhat give him a helping hand. BT would ask Deku what does he need, to which Deku would just say he needs a bit of help. You can create 3D models, correct? And, well, guides to how I'm supposed to move. So, would it be possible to take that aspect and doing it for something else? Exactly what are you talking about, Midoriya? Well, I've been having an idea. Since I do need to redesign parts of the Titan, and right now I'm still stuck on this part, I would like you to make somewhat of a 3D blueprint for me. Well, that should be easy. However, I would need a scan of this blueprint. To which Deku would do one thing. He would just open up the helmet and grab his drink and grab the straw, as he would just immediately just drink down as much caffeine as possible before he slides the helmet back down and begins to draw. May would be watching Deku just drawing over and over as he does the front picture, a side picture, and actually does start creating and designing certain parts of the model, along with different ways the pieces mix together and sort of blend. To which he would tell BT to scan these, as BT would do so. He would create somewhat of a 3D model as Deku would turn around and see it there, as he tells BT to move it a bit further, no, one step, a bit to the left, as it would somewhat blend with what he is actually working on. Deku not being able to tell it's actually there, until he starts, well, looking around or above where he's working. He would ask BT to actually just do one thing, as he does see certain areas he's missing and or lacking certain components, saying that he might need to create these pieces then. Well, as he would turn to May, asking if they have any raw material. Now, before Deku can even continue, this is whenever his dad would walk up to him saying that his mom's been a bit worried. They've been on campus for a little too long. Oh, come on, Dad. I was just trying to make progress. Midoriya, please. Listen, your mother doesn't want me doing this, and since I'm not allowed to, well, it's a bit harder for you since you're young. Besides, you can't really use your brain if you can't think at all. To which May would just say, he's kinda got a good point. Now then, Deku would just turn telling his dad that that's not fair, but his dad would just fight Deku on this. As Deku would say that he was just about to get into some actual good progress. He just needs to figure out what this piece is, as he would ask BT to remove the piece and allow him control over it. To which BT would somewhat do so, Deku holding up a hollow piece, as his dad is a bit confused, asking exactly what's going on. May would just say that she's not really sure, but knowing Midoriya, it's probably something weird. To which Deku would do one thing. He would just slide off the helmets and tell his dad to check this out. His dad would just tell Deku that if he's checking this out, then he has to go to bed. To which Deku would just say, okay, fine. But you're gonna find this really cool. Okay? As his dad would just slide on the helmets and look up, as May can hear the screaming in his head, as his dad would immediately just run over and begin checking this all out, holding out his hands and actually messing with certain components. He's asking Deku exactly how did he do this, to which he would have to explain that he tried 3D mapping it, or well, overlaying blueprints and using the guide for the parkour component in the helmets that allows you to map your course. So, oh, I get it. You're somewhat simulating, as his dad would go into more scientific knowledge, basically saying that he's basically using a simulation and or constructs to basically design his own blueprint. To which Deku would have explained, yeah. Now, his dad would just do one thing, as he would take off the helmet, saying that as interesting as this is, and as much as he wants to help, they do need to go to bed. Besides, this is a bit too much for one day. To which his dad would just say, May, you probably should go too. Your mom's gonna be coming by. To which May would just say that she'll just wait for her then. Now, May would just continue messing with her goggles, as Deku and Hisashi would leave, returning home and having dinner. Deku getting cleaned up and all the oil taken off of his face and his arms, and go to bed. Now then, that is going to be where I leave this part off of, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.